Persuasion is the art of shifting people's viewpoints. Try this. Are the vertical bars in the picture the same height? Now, although it looks like the one on the right is actually taller, they are in fact the same height. See for yourself. So, how do we help someone see things a different way when we can all see things so entirely differently? Well, it helps to think of persuasion as an act of translation. They're speaking French and you speak English. How do we find some common ground? How do we look at the same thing and realize that it's just two different perspectives? Neither one is right or wrong. They're just different. And how do we translate between the two? So one of the ways to think about this is imagine that what we're looking at in the picture is actually like a V-shaped screen. And you and I are standing in opposite ends of a warehouse where this V-shaped screen is in the middle. And let's say that from your perspective, the screen looks fairly short. So you're looking at the kind of inside of the screen, and I'm looking at the outside of the screen. So from my perspective, the optical illusion is making that screen appear taller than it is for you. Now, we can both argue about the possible height of the screen, but our perspectives is making it impossible to agree. And without the ability to empirically measure things, which, let's face it, in the world is actually quite tricky, we are reliant on talking about it, on finding some kind of common ground or agreement. So how do I get you to see what I'm seeing and agree with me about the height of the screen? Well, most people would suggest that I should tell the other person, or I should tell you to come and see things from my side. I mean, if only they could see it from my point of view, they'd realize I was right. But in actual fact, the fastest way to get somebody to see things from your perspective is to go to their side first. If I walk to the end of the warehouse and see things from your point of view and say, gosh, you're right, from over here, it absolutely looks shorter, and validate your perspective, you're right. I can see why you thought it was short. I can then invite you around to my side to check out this weird optical illusion that's making it appear longer from my side of the warehouse. Now, the fact that I built rapport first by respecting your model of the world gives me the influence I need for you to be more willing to see things from my perspective. Now, of course, sometimes no matter how much you might be willing to see things from someone else's point of view, there is the danger that they won't want to see it from yours. They're not interested in other perspective. And so to further give you more of the power of persuasion in this, to help somebody see it from a different point of view, I would suggest not giving your perspective first, or even at all. And if you avoid giving your perspective and setting yourself up at opposite ends of something, then there won't be the resistance to agree with you. So why is that? Why is that? Well, the fastest way to be wrong is to tell somebody that they're wrong. The fastest way to lose rapport is to tell someone you disagree with them. The fastest way to create a conflict or an argument is to take an opposing position. It is entirely unnecessary to give your opinion if you want to change somebody else's. And in fact, as I've said, it often makes it harder to change somebody's mind once you have done.